And what is up, guys? Technicals Tinkers here, checking in on our little 3D print operation today. Thought I'd do something a little bit different today. So today I'm going to be pricing out a newly printed 3D model. I haven't listed it on my Etsy yet. I've been meaning to do it. So I've been printing these skulls. If you've been following my daily vlog, I've been printing these skulls. I'm going all in on skulls because I downloaded a whole big pack of skulls. I bought the designs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and kind of price it out. This is just the way I do it, and I'd love for you to chime in below and let me know maybe there's something I'm missing or how you do it differently if you're an Etsy seller or if you're an e-com seller. Me personally, I kind of shy away from a lot of smaller prints because it's just not enough money for me. It's not worth the time to print, pack, and ship something that I make, just a few dollars on. But I've decided, in order to generate some volume to kind of prove the market, I want $10. That's what I want out of these skulls. And so I'm going to price them appropriately. They don't take a whole lot of filament. They don't take a whole lot of fuss. They come off the plate pretty easily. And so I've got 3 skulls today. I've got my chimpanzee skull. I've got my raven skull. And I've got a human skull. And these are all life size with the exception of, well, the human's life size, it's a big human. This is a little smaller than life size, and the raven's actually bigger than life size. So I'm going to include that in the listing as well. What I've done is I've just taken some very simple pictures, and I know pictures are a big component of it. These are the pictures. This is a picture I took for the chimpanzee model. It's just back here on my desk. The lighting's okay. I think it'd probably be better if I had like a spot that looked like a nice high-end home, but I don't really have a nice high-end or a normal people's home. And I think that's probably a strength for a lot of people is, you want to make it seem like it's someone else's house or a house they want to be in, but I don't really have spots like that. So I took the picture back here. Well lit, and I also have included with it these. So if you've been following the channel, I got these slate coasters and laser engraved on it the name of the thing that it is. So for example, this is for the chimpanzee. It's its scientific name, its common name, and I guess this is the person who first identified it. And it comes with a little stand thing, and we're going to include all that in our pricing. So let's take a look at how I'm pricing these things out. All right, so starting out here, I've got the chimpanzee skull all sliced up. I'm over in Bamboo Studio. So if you take a look here, here's the chimpanzee skull, and if my big stupid head would get out of the way, let's just nudge that up there. So in total, it takes 241 grams of filament. So I'm going to go ahead and migrate that over into a very simple non-aesthetic spreadsheet and kind of start keeping track of all this. Just very simply to look, I've got my product here, the chimpanzee skull. I'm using Bamboo Matte PLA, and I buy enough to get it down to $13 per spool. So the grams per print, 241, like we said. I factor in 20% failure, so 1 out of every 5 prints I'm assuming will fail, and this is kind of like the one safeguard that I put in place for overages here and there. I've got kind of worked in sort of a couple of those, but that's probably the biggest one because I don't think I'll have 20% failure, but I have to account for that, and I like to be on the conservative side of things or the generous side of things with the failure. So in total, I'm accounting 289 grams of filament. That brings my filament cost to $375. Now for shipping, I take a 10-10-10 and I plug that in from my zip code to Beverly Hills 90210. Could be a little more, could be a little less, and that kind of, those little measures I have in place kind of help me price it in because I don't know what it's going to cost until I ship it, and I want to keep free shipping on these products because I want that little tag that goes underneath the product listing that says free shipping because that's enticing to customers. I do want to maintain that. All said, I should be right around 10 or maybe a little bit less. I don't do free shipping internationally at all. So I have it to where it's free shipping domestically, and if someone buys it internationally, it'll ship, but it'll add on an extra like $10 or $20 or something like that. Cost a lot, and I don't know how much it's going to cost, and quite frankly, I don't really care. I just want to make sure that I'm covered, and so I do put in like an added fee there for international customers. Because the Etsy fee is based on the revenue, I back into it. So I take a proposed price, and then from that I tab my Etsy fee. So my proposed price on this chimp skull is $32. Etsy fees usually 10 to 15%. I'm factoring 12, and so if my proposed is 32, that means Etsy, if they're taking a 12%, is going to be $384. I'm figuring in $3 for the packing supplies, $1 for the box and $2 for cover all the other stuff. So it probably comes out to that. I know my Uline boxes are probably about $1.25 to $1.50. So I'm factoring in $3. That should cover me plenty, and that's another one of those added measures, fluff, you know, sort of buffer measures that I have in place. And for other, that little slate thing comes out to $1.43. I'm not figuring in any time or any amortization or depreciation or wear and tear on the laser printer because, well, I got it for free and I don't know how long that they really last. I'm just figuring in $1.43, and that's the raw cost that I paid for that 12 pack of slate coasters that I got on Amazon. So that gives me the total cost to produce this thing, all said, the chimp skull and the placard and shipping it and everything all rolled into one, of $22. I want to make $10, and so that's how I derived that $32 cost, and so that's what I'm going to list it for. All right, so taking a look at our Raven skull here, significantly less, and so it's 134 grams in total. I'm going to migrate that over. All right, so Raven skull is basically the same. It takes a lot less filament, but those other costs are significant enough to really drive the price up. So 134 grams, 100 less grams, but in counting the 20% failure, it brings my total filament cost to $2 instead of $3.75, and then the shipping is still, I'm still assuming is $10. So my filament plus shipping is like $1.75 less. So, you know, instead of pricing it at that, you know, $32, $31, I guess I could, you know, put it in at like $29.99, and that's probably better to charm price it down. So I'm going to do that. Let's make it, instead of $31, let's go ahead and make it $29.99. I don't know, they say that works. Smarter people than me say that charm pricing works, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm still getting a 967 rip on it, which is fine for me. Hopefully that buffer in place brings me to that actual $10 mark. But yeah, that works good. All right, can OBS record and slice, and I have my film editor and 3 other slicers running. Come on, computer, let's do it. All right, so our human skull here, I don't remember it having a support right there, but hey, I'm not going to argue with it. In total, 343 grams, so certainly more, about 100 more than the other ones. So let's plug that in. All right, so I got my human skull in there. It went up a little bit, and I kind of nudged all the prices to be more in line with, like, to the nearest $5 mark, charmed down a penny. So I got it in for $34.99, and that gives me a 1081 rip on the Raven skull. I got a 960, and I nudged the chimpanzee down a bit. It's only getting $8 on that, but I feel like the chimpanzee might do a little more volume. Maybe it's a little more interesting of a skull model. So I got that one in at $29.99, and so that should give me $8. So I'm going to take all these and I'm going to go plug them into Etsy. All right, so typically when I'm adding these things, I like to put words in the thumbnail to like signal to people what it is, but I think probably moving forward, I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to let the picture kind of speak for itself and just put it in the title, and maybe that'll encourage people to click it a little more. If it's the title, if the thumbnail is too wordy, maybe that kind of gives them too much information and they're not as curious. That's my thinking anyway. It's the experiment that I'm going to try. So also my pictures could be a little bit better. And so for the title, I actually put in life-size chimpanzee skull replica because I was looking around on the internet and it seems like just like humans, chimpanzees are various sizes. Some list a life-size skull as being like 8 inches, some listed as like 18 inches. It seems a little big. So I'm putting it in at life size, and I'll just put the measurements in the description in case anyone wants to know how big it really is. And I'm just going to go from there because it seems like I'm well within my, you know, limits and rights to sort of claim that this is a life-size chimpanzee skull. All right, and so for my tags, audit me, go ahead, blast off in the comments. Let me know if they're what you would do in this situation, but I'm just kind of naming everything that's kind of related to chimps or something that someone could be searching for. So I said chimp, chimpanzee, skull, skull replica, monkey, monkey skull, animal skulls, ape, great apes, gorilla, primate, scientific, and educational because, well, it is kind of educational. It's got the scientific name on there so someone could educate themselves with that little placard. All right, boom, Etsy takes my 20 cents. And I'm good to go. So I'm putting this one over here on my my art Etsy because I keep all my Etsy separated. I know a lot of people say good, say bad on that kind of thing. I think it's all right. So doing the skull over here, I've got my other skulls here, my big ones and my novelty skulls and things like that. And there it is. The picture leaves a lot to be desired, I think. You know, let's view it on Etsy. All right, so, you know, I wanted to get the shot of the slate thing in there, and it kind of gives you the idea of what's going on. And so in here I have some other you know, pictures that kind of show it in detail, and I'm not trying to hide or obscure, you know, like the layer lines, because I printed this at like a 0.2, so pretty aggressive on the print just to kind of speed things up. But I think where I'm priced should be okay. Let's take a look and see what other chimpanzee skulls are on Etsy. Looking here, it looks like I have one that's pretty close to what the one that I have, seems about the same size. She's got hers in for $35. Lucy 3D Matrix. One here that's a little, well, that's a digital download. These are not printed in, you know, like a specific color. These are, I guess, maybe like injection molded or something like that, or maybe they're handmade. I guess maybe they're handmade, and I'm aware that like there's a lot of like drop shippers and, you know, nefarious bad hombres on Etsy doing that kind of thing. But that's all right. You know, we'll navigate around that. And otherwise, looking through, not seeing. Okay, so this one here, miniature chimpanzee skull, wood, $236. Gorilla skull, that's one of the ones I plan to do here. That one's pretty large, so that one, 40. She's got hers in for $40, but you know, kind of looking at it, that seems maybe in line. Like maybe I could be able to get away with that. You know, I have to look into that one a little more deeply. And also, you know, let's take a look at it while we're at it, because size is selected an option. Okay, so the 6-inch version is $43. The large, big version is $80. So, yeah, that's kind of, you know, I don't know that I want to classify that as misleading. It is misleading to do that, because when I list the degen prints, the art dolls, a lot of people will list a full color picture and then they'll have it at a, you know, a honey charm price. But when you go in there, that price is for a non-painted version, just a solid color that you have to paint yourself. And so that's how they're hooking people in. Maybe I should do that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. For me, I don't want to deal with dissatisfied customers. You know, I thought it was going to be painted. That time that I have to take to reply to those and been like, well, you should have read the description. I just don't want to deal with that kind of thing. I'd rather just put it in for the price, list it in the title, full color, and do it, I guess, the honest way. All right, and so I don't think I really need to kind of demonstrate the Raven and the human. I'm going to do those in the exact same way, but really this was more of a sort of an exhibition of just kind of being like, I'm being transparent, or just me demonstrating how I'm doing it, how I'm pricing things, how I'm putting them on there. I'm kind of working backwards in a lot of ways, saying like, okay, I need to make at least $10 on this thing. This is what I'm going to price it at, versus printing something and then, like, you know, because like earlier in the vlog today I mentioned that I was doing these pop socket desk stands. I didn't realize how tiny and just chintzy this was. You know, selling something like this, I think this exact model I saw on Etsy for like $10. If I got this for $10, I would be pretty angry, because this is really nothing. It's just, I mean, it's strong enough to hold up your phone, but barely, and just barely. So, you know, I don't want to get into areas of things like this. You know, making $10 on a skull that takes virtually nothing for me to print, pop off, the supports come off very easy, throw in a box and ship it, that's okay. But, you know, getting into high volume stuff like this where I make 50 cents or $1, that just ain't me, dude. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Let me know what where I went wrong with the pricing, or if there's something I missed, because that's certainly helpful in my journey to kind of find a way to extract some blood from the stone. Be sure to like the video, because it's the nice thing to do, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm the Technicals. See you next time.